The final word.
Final word, man. Let's go.
Yeah. Come on with it.
Can't wait to talk about with you boys today.
Things to talk about.
Yeah.
Things to talk about. Well, Big, you started off, man.
Yeah.
When am I gonna start it off though? I'm chill. You know.
What's on your
We're ready to
mind,
pop
bro?
it
I
off
ain't
now,
talked to
huh?
you, so I want to,
What's on my mind?
Yeah.
Right now, same old Cowboys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Same old Cowboys right now.
Yeah.
Same old Cowboys. You know.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. I mean, I know it's only 2 short games. We know it's a whole year. Things can change, but some things I'm gonna bring up that I had on a video that I want to talk about is how we talk about the signings that they picked up, the defensive tackles, but when I did a video, I said they wait too late. Jonathan Hankins, remember we talked about him? I wanted him when he was 28, not when he was 30. Linville Joseph. Jordan Phillips. I wanted them 4 years ago. We're getting them 4 years later. When they're downtread. Dalvin Cook. I wanted him before. I'm saying it's like they get these players, but it's always later. And it's why don't you get them when they're at their peak? You get them when they're not their guys. And so these other teams will expose them because they got younger guys that are not journeymen, right? Those are journeyman guys now. I heard Seth Joyner say that whenever they trade a player within a division, that said team that's trading that player does not think that player is going to do anything. That's why they don't have no problem trading him within the division to you, because he wasn't either going to make the team or he was never going to do nothing with your team anyway. And I looked at that with Jordan Phillips with the Giants. And then Linville Joseph was sitting on the couch chilling. So, I mean, and he's a journeyman now. What is that really going to take us over the hump if you still got a Mozzie who's still coming in year 2 and still trying to grow? You need some impact kind of guys. That's not what they have, and it's getting seen already.
Oh, wow. That's good stuff, man. I think that Mike Zims asked for a few things, and Jerry Jones told Will McClay, we give you an unlimited shopping spree, but it's not at a known store. It's at Dollar Tree. So that's what we were saying. That's why, unlimited shopping, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar. So that's what we got. Were we happy about those movements? To be fair, yes, because normally we don't go out there and approach those type of guys. So that's what happened. Unlimited shopping spree, but it's at Dollar General.
Final word.
Well, I also have
the final word.
Every run play.
The final word.
And it's only 10 minutes.
Come on with it.
When I looked at it, I didn't see them DTs getting blown up like I thought they was. I saw a couple of plays where it was bad, extremely bad, but
goal
not
line.
throughout the game. Not throughout the whole game. Like it seems, to be honest. So, man, let's just get into it.
I just wanna run it up. Can we check or something? I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Come on with it. All right.
Yeah.
Run it up.
All right. I'm gonna get into the film. I want to start it off with the film too. Okay.
Okay.
I got
all right.
every running play, but I'm gonna save some of this film until OC get up in here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should go through every running play, and it's literally only 10 minutes. So that's a small segment of our show, right? Especially if we just let it play. If we don't talk through every one of them and keep rewinding, we'll get through it pretty quick. But I think we should put our eyes on it. But before we do that, I want to talk about a couple of things that came up with Zimmer and get both of y'all takes on it. I'm obviously start with you, Big Bro Big. And this kind of stood out to me with Zimmer. Check this out.
John Machota with the athletic, the defensive tackle position really hasn't been a big strength around here for a while. What gives you the confidence that you do have the right guys to get the job done?
Yeah, it will be. I mean, I've done this for 28 years in this league. I've seen a lot of defensive tackles. As long as they continue to do what we're asking them to do, they'll have success. They may not be the greatest pass rushers, but we've got other people to do that. But it's like the game last night. We didn't allow us to rush the passer because they didn't give us opportunities because we didn't get the run stop. So I just obviously have to make a better effort of it. I got to get more detailed in the things that I'm telling them. I got to make sure that we're working those specific details every single day, which we will.
So that's one thing about the DT. Then I want to play this real quick.
All right.
So based on what you're saying, the time you spent around this team and watching them practice and their approach, yesterday was an aberration from what you had seen up to this point?
I would say so.
So he called it an aberration. Big.
Boss, you got a request. They are saying, can you turn
my
up?
mic up?
Yeah.
Turn me up some more. I appreciate y'all. Yeah. So, Big, I want to start with you. What Zim said was that this was an aberration. He said through all the camps, through all the training camps, through all the practice, he's never seen our defensive front and defense perform like that. What's your thoughts?
We'll see. That's what I'm gonna say. We'll see.
Right.
Because we've seen this story before with multiple coordinators. That's the thing that I'm saying. Zimmer can say this, and I'm not going against what he's saying. But I've seen this with Dan Quinn. I've seen this with Mike Nolan. I've seen this with Ron Marinelli. And so each coordinator had to go through this type of thing where Dallas is getting ran through, smacked up, beat up, and they're coming back like, okay, well, let's regroup. So all I'm gonna say is we'll see. In the season, it's only 2 games. You had a good performance against Cleveland, but I'm gonna also say just to that, not making any excuses, but Deshaun Watson still is not that quarterback. They were missing Nick Chubb, and they had a couple of guys on the offensive line.
Right.
And the Saints came in here with a plan, and really the plan is be physical with this team. And when teams decide to do that, and we've seen this story before,
right?
These type of things happen.
We struggle.
So I can't go away from that just because Mike Zimmer said that was an aberration or an anomaly or whatever. I got to see more before I jump out there and say that. You see.
Man, I would say this. I would give Zim a little grace and mercy due to the fact that this is his first year back again here. And we're going to have to see whether or not these guys can hear him out and buy into his philosophy. Last year, we were under the impression that the defense is going to have to carry this team until Mike McCarthy get into the groove with offense. And that is exactly what happened last year. The defense kind of carried, and then Mike McCarthy got into the groove, and it ended up turning around in a great way for the offensive side. But now it's the inverse, because this offense adapted this philosophy that none of these starters really play meaningful snaps in preseason, and they look a little slow and lethargic. Well, now you got that added on to a new defense, if you guys get what I'm saying. So hopefully, we can see less of what happened last week and more of what we seen first week. If it's more of the same, then I'm gonna take back all of the Kool-Aid that I've been spraying out over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take back all of the Kool-Aid. But outside of that, I'm giving him a little grace.
Because I think Big made the best point. Is we can't act like this is an aberration. You can't do that. Now he right. This is going into multiple coaching staffs now. That Big is just right on that, right? Where teams that seem to commit to being physical and running the ball on Dallas gives us trouble, and we can name them by name. Buffalo, right? They committed to running the ball. A lot of people thought it was the little linebacker, so we kind of said, okay, we blame Dan Quinn. So then it happened Green Bay, where they even came in calling us front runners, right? With a plan that we go be physical, thinking that they go lay down. And then the Ravens came in and they outright said it. They outright said it.
Man, that's a hell of a win, guys. That's a good football team that we just beat. Okay, 16 regular season wins in a row. Okay, that was a good team. All right, now, okay, here's what we said. We said we had to come in here and play our brand of football. We played the way the Saints have to play this game. All right? And look, hey, sometimes you just got to pop out and show them.
He edited his own self, but yeah, I feel him, and that's some good energy though, boss. And I take that, But at the end of the day, it's only been 2 games in the National Football League, right? And I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. I don't foresee everybody Saints scoring 40 points on everybody. But they better not for damn sure stop next week. They better put up 40 points next week. And then they can stop, right? Because they play the Saints play the Eagles next week. But what I can say is that once tape is out and once people see the tendencies that they like to do, then they will be able to counter. Now, what I'm not finna say and what I'm not finna have Cowboy fans to do is to set some type of, we're going to resolve all of Dan Quinn's sins based off of this particular game. I'm not finna have that. Nah. Dan Quinn deserved to get some of his lumps with this particular situation, even though he's on another team. I'm not finna say that this one game can resolve all of Dan Quinn's sins. I'm not finna go there.
Yeah, and me being focused on solutions, man, I honestly feel like this fix is not even that hard. I believe it's more so about the Dallas Cowboys going into each game with a mentality that we want this smoke and that we got to be more physical than the opponent. I think that's the one thing that Dallas Cowboys lack is identity of physicality. Because you hear that with the teams that we keep labeling the Shanahan tree. That's what we keep hearing. But when you hear us describe the tree, we think we getting beat with X's and O's when really we, in my opinion, we being beat with physicality. I want y'all to listen to this, and I want to talk about it with both of y'all. Y'all check this out.
Plays a huge role in that.
Floyd actually spoke last week into the difference in his team compared to other teams, how hard this team works. You just extended for an extra 2 years. If you can kind of specify what is the difference with how this team prepares you guys to go out there and just go out the window compared to maybe other teams that you're part of.
Yeah, I think the difference is the culture. Culture's been set for a while, and the standard is really high. I think when you have a lot of really good players who are also your hardest workers, it's a recipe for success, and it's the way that we're coached. I think is different. it's all about football. You know, when you get in these meetings, you're going over football. You're not just going over technique, but you're going over the attitude.
You're not just going over technique, but you're also going over their attitude.
Offensive player, I love watching the defensive meetings when Kyle's coaching up the defense, because you start.
So you got Kyle coaching up the defense on the attitude.
Start to understand the attitude of the team and the tone setters, and there's a certain way you play football, and here
it's a certain way you play football.
The film examples of it, and I think the combination of all of those different things.
And he said they show film on it.
The way they feed you, the way they take care of you.
So obviously, I'm not jumping all on San Fran.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
You shouldn't have to apologize about that, though, boss. I mean, you're showing something where this is another player. First of all, we should know what Christian McCaffrey. If anybody knows his story, we already know about his pops, his brothers, his whole family's about football. But you know, I looked on a little interview about him, and he is like serious, like his dad, crazy serious about training. When he was young, like the breakdowns of the training he was doing with his father was crazy. The stuff that his father was having him do. So he is about football, right? He is about football. And so I think when you hear from him saying that, that's not a bunch of BS. You know, you can hear other players just be up there BS and saying this and that for the camera because it sounds good. I don't believe that from Christian McCaffrey. So what he's saying is, I feel like is what's really going on, and he's immersing himself into it. When he's talking about standard, here's what I feel, from my opinion, what the standard would be. Yeah. So if you got outside guys coming in like Linville Joseph, who's been around the league, and then a Jordan Phillips, who's been around the league, those guys have been around the league, right? They should already be coming into a environment and a culture of winning and a standard. That's what Christian McCaffrey is saying. You come in here, it's a standard. It's about football. That's what it's about. It ain't about nothing else. This is what we're about, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to show you all different ways. When you come into Dallas as a free agent, I don't know if that standard is, I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't know. That standard is not there, in my opinion, in certain ways of you're coming into a culture where it is all about football.
Right.
I don't feel like it is all about football in this culture. And we know social media in every locker room, right? We know other players do podcasts and all that. We know that. But this has been going on before these guys. Okay? This has been an issue before this current regimen we have right now. This has been an issue for a while. So we can't sit there and say that this just popped up 3 or 4 years or just because this, you know, Micah Parsons and these guys are there. No, this has been going on. So when players are coming in and they're saying that, they kind of fall into it, right? When you see, it's kind of like boss and law. If you go to a job and everybody's a hard worker, right? Either you're gonna get in line or you're gonna get out. You're gonna see the standard, and if you're a team player like that, you're gonna want to stay with that standard, right? You're gonna look like, I don't want to be the weak one and they're coming up and doing good. I don't want to be the one that's the weak link, right? So you make sure you push yourself. You make sure you go hard. You make sure you do that so you can measure up to the standard. I don't think that is that, in my opinion, in Dallas across the board. And to me, it starts with the front office.
No doubt, man. You 1,000% right. The owner, the general manager sets the standards here. And it's all about ticket sales and how much we charge for popcorn and $15 to $30 beers. And that's just how it goes, unfortunately, here. He was out there in the middle of the ring or middle of the field with Mike Tyson, right? And another content creator, I forgot his name. That's what Jerry Jones do. He sells tickets. He sells dreams. He sells this team. He sells the ideology that no one is bad, right? So that's what Jerry do. And that is the standard that trickles down. Is it football first? No, it's marketing and making money first. But that comes with the star, unfortunately. And the Cowboys, we get viewed upon differently. A third of the people that's watching right now, or more than a third, don't even know that Fred Warner got a podcast. But everybody, mama, uncle, cousin knows that Parsons got a podcast, and he podcasts Parsons. But Fred Warner for the 49ers, he can talk, he can go on his podcast, and it won't even be heard because it's not globalized, because he's not as marketable as a Cowboys Michael Parsons. So those are the differences between those two. And yes, when Christian McCaffrey can say, yes, it's all about football, and Kyle Shanahan, he talks to the defense, he also talks to the offense, and he'd have his hands on everything because he don't have to worry about the owner undermining him, second guessing him, looking over his shoulder and beyond. But you've got to be for sure. If you Mike McCarthy, it's already mixed messages. Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy on different pages. Mike McCarthy come out and say, yeah, we was on cloud 9. Dak Prescott was saying, no, we wasn't. Mike McCarthy said in a doggone press conference or interview that literally, I didn't see lack of effort. But Mike Zim said, it's on me. And Parsons saying there was lack of efforts. So these guys are not on the same page. And it's quite strange that the front office definitely is not on the same page with this team, and especially in acquiring needs. But that's a whole nother story.
And I see your super chat, Star. I'm finna take it in a minute. I think when I look at and I listen to the Shanahan tree people, right? I think a lot of us are missing it in terms of what's the real key to giving us problems. The key to me to giving us problem and the culture to me that he was saying that was already established was the physicality culture. The physicality culture. So like a lot of people, especially when we start putting on our nerd hats, our stat nerd hats, we hear about their commitment to running the ball 30 times. But I think we got to think about the why behind it, Big. The why behind it is because, in my opinion, they want to stick with their brand of football. What, to me, believe separates them is they're going to consistently be physical, where that's their identity. So a lot of people thinking that, in my opinion, a Shanahan tree is about jet motions and wide zones and ways to get you out of position. And also having, most people look at it like chess, where they have those pieces that's multifaceted, like running backs that can play receive and receivers that can play running backs. They think Shanahan them out there tricking people, but more so I think what they really doing is they trying to find that mismatch, but they also having a simple identity of physicality. So the games that I saw where Dallas turned up was the games where we came out from beginning to end and we was physical. So like if I go look at that game that we played against, obviously San Fran, the one time that we played really, really, really good against San Fran, if I just let the tape go, you could literally see from snap one that the energy was high, that everything was intense, they was not friendly. Like you can look at this very first play and you can see Tank just throwing people just out of front, getting up, barking, woofing. And we wasn't as good on this defense as we are now. So it's one of those things to where, with the Shanahan tree discussion, I would want us to get it right. And so let me go to this super chat and then I'm going to turn it back over to you, Big. Star said, with our DCs, we were very undersized. Our 340s and 330 DTs were moved like children. Hold on real quick. And then she said, that shouldn't be, need physicality. What's up, Big?
I mean, it's got to be physical. It's got to be technique. It's got to be smart. It's got to be playing as a team. It's got to be a collected effort. I mean, that shouldn't have really happened Sunday at all. We understand that the Saints are, they're a pretty decent team. We know Derek Carr is a pretty good quarterback. He's not a bum. He's a good quarterback. I even said, before the games came up, I said Wednesday, my main key to the game was hitting Derek Carr early, getting after him early, because we believe Thanksgiving and he came in here and went crazy. If you let Derek Carr get that first drive, get that confidence where he's feeling good about himself, then he's on a whole cloud nine. That team kind of follows it, and that's I think what kind of happened in that game against them Saints. They got shell shocked early. They didn't really think that was going to happen to them, and then it just kind of snowballed. But it still was a lack of effort, in certain ways. We keep on hearing after the game, this can't happen. We got to be better, but we've heard that song too many times before. You get what I'm saying? We just heard that song. I don't want to bring up the Green Bay game because everybody's been talking about it, but we heard this song before when Green Bay, and we said we ain't going to let that happen again, and it happens right again. So, guys got to just be better. Mozzie's got to continue. He's got to be better. Jordan Phillips. It wasn't like Jordan Phillips. Here's the thing. I wanted Jordan Phillips when he was 27. Boss, you remember when we talked about that, right?
Yep.
He's not the same Jordan Phillips. I'm not going away from him. I'm glad the Cowboys got a big boy, right? But he's not that same person. And I'm just saying, they traded him within the division. So they were probably already thinking, we good on this defensive line. We don't need him. And so then I'm thinking, well, if nobody's anybody, what is he going to really bring to the sign that you picked him up and Lil Joseph that takes Dallas over the hump defensively? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, are these defensive tackles that are going to make a difference for us getting to a next level? I can't say no. I said that when they picked them up, and I like both of these guys, but these weren't the movers and shakers that were going to take this team. When you picked up both of those guys, you were like, okay, now we got a championship defense now. Did you think that?
I thought, and I still think, these are some of the best DTs we've had in years.
Right. And that's saying something, but even now, Linval Joseph's 35. Yeah. He's Jordan Phillips is on that borderline level of being a journeyman.
Right. No, both, yeah.
They're not getting big contracts anymore. They're journeymen.
Yeah. The tread on these are low. Agree.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna turn on the film, dude, and I'm gonna really take a real look at these guys. I got every running play. I don't think it's as bad as what we think it is. From what I saw, I've been waiting on OC. I can't wait no longer. I got to get into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What I saw, man, and I'm not gonna show each play. What I'm gonna show is what I saw more so was containment issues from the corner. So this is one right here. Okay. So watch Carson in the right corner. All right. So if you watch the right corner, you'll see he takes on this block, but does he keep his outside arm free? No. So guess what happens? He get pinned inside, and he allows an extra 4 yards. And that's simple, man. You take him on. You take him on with the proper shoulder, and you keep your outside arm free. Corners is the ultimate containment, and I saw a lot of this all day. So then, if I look at, and I'm gonna show you a lot of these, bro. Not a little of these, a lot of these.
When it was 14-6, that little dump off pass that Kamara took to the house.
Yeah.
I think that 21 should have had a better angle to escape that. I don't know if you had that in your reel.
I got
there,
it.
But
I got it.
You got it. Yeah.
See, what it is, and I'm being honest.
That would never happen if Bland was out there.
What it is to me, I'm being honest. It looked like the Saints was trying to make the corners tackle and testing to see what they tackle, and that answer was mostly no.
Yeah.
So, like, if we look at Diggs right here. Diggs did a real good job of making them turn it up inside. You see that?
Yeah,
see, that's one time we got it right, you know. Yeah, it was still first down, but he did his job in terms of making them turn it up. Yeah. But then on this next play, you're going to see Carson lose containment again. So it's going to be clear.
It's picking on him.
Yeah, so it's clearly a running play. You see run action. Right, but then the receiver obviously ain't running no route, stalking you like that. So you should already be racing to get upfield. So again, he led him outside and touchdown.
21. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
And so it's another play where you'll see the corners lost containment. Like right here, 323, looking at Diggs. Look at Diggs. Take him on, wrong shoulder, and an extra 6 yards. I see more issues from corners than I do DTs, to be honest.
You know what? I didn't mean to cut you off, boss, but you know, just what you're just saying right there, Diggs is known for just doing that shoulder thing. And teams know that now about him. Let's be honest. And they know he is not a big time tackler. We were even wanting to see, you know, before he got hurt, we were all getting excited because he was showing a little bit of tackling in those first few games before he got injured, right? But we had been known, Law, we had talked about this time and time again, and even you, boss, that how he did not tackle, and he was always coming with that shoulder, leaning with that shoulder, and there it is again. And you know, teams see those what they call tendencies. Teams see those tendencies, so let's go. They're going to test you, and Carson's a rookie. Let's see if he's really. Oh, okay, we got that. Let's do it again. Oh, we can do it again. Well, we're going to keep on doing it. And then, you know, it snowballs after that. But, I mean, you're totally right, boss, about the contain, because it's very obvious when you see it.
Well, when we go, did you do your spot check already on Diggs this entire game and see how many times he pressed? Because I don't think he pressed a lot last week. And it could be a thing, too, that they are picking up that, like, he's not pressing no more. He's 7 yards off the ball or more, and you can run that way. And like Big Game James said, he's going to lower their shoulder. He's not going to. And those are one of the things we had griped about with Diggs in 2021. And then he tried to make a corrective effort in 2022 of tackling better, right? And then in 2023, he got hurt. So this could set him back all the way back to 2021 on his approach. That's why I was banging on the table and saying, not to say we got to bench Diggs or anything like that, but bring in another veteran so that, you know, that they can help push up this thing. But Carson's week one,
it
he
looked like all
sharp.
of them, Law. It looked like
all
the
but
corners,
you can only take on for who's your leader, you know.
What I mean is, because you know, I got the book of boss, and under the book of boss, when all the group is playing bad, you look at the coach. And this is on Al Harris to me. When all of them are losing containment, and you're right, you should look at the leader all the time to be the example. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing a pattern of a loss of containment on our side. Let me just show a few more. I'm gonna just show a few more. Right. So looking at 338, you'll look at here. You're gonna see. I already showed that play.
Yeah.
But the next play, you go see Jordan Lewis did it right. So he playing at the bottom right, okay? So what he looking at is the tight end. If the tight end blocked down, he's supposed to go ahead and fit up in there to keep that containment, right? But also attack. So you're going to see the tight end going to block down. So, yeah, you go, and you know the fullback is going to take you out. He takes him on with the right shoulder, and he turns him up inside to the safety for like a gain of 1 yard. That's when you playing it right. But then on the very next play, not this play, it's going to be the play after this, he going to play it wrong, all right? And so that's just, and the DTs, I see what the problem with the DTs are. They getting a good punch. They just not shedding them balls to make tackles. I'm going to show that too. But here's a play where Jordan Lewis did it right, and then here he go do it wrong. So everybody blocks down, and he let him outside again and took him on with the wrong shoulder. So it's like you seeing the same thing out of all of them. It's not just one. I saw the same thing in Carson. I saw the same thing in Diggs. I see the same thing in Jordan Lewis. They don't want to tackle. And they not taking on those blocks well. And it's the Saints, to me, look like they said, we go run these wide zones because we don't think y'all corners want to come up and try to stop us.
Facts, man. They fast and they got to the edge there. So
They
I
got to
got no
that edge.
rebuttal. Got no rebuttal to that.
Yeah. So
Neither do I.
So then, what I'm gonna do now, if y'all don't mind, man, I'm gonna just, cause I keep hearing people say the DTs were blown off the ball. I saw a few plays where the DTs.
Let's go to D2.
Yeah, let's go. Let's look at the DTs now. All right, cause I think it's a lot of talking about that's not really showing up.
What it is that they showed them few clips that were on Twitter where
it's the few. Well, Phillips, we saw that play with Phillips.
Phillips and Joseph got pancaked.
Mozzie got moved out of, yeah.
And they didn't get done like that all day, like people trying to act like it's. I didn't see that. And I got every run play here, y'all. So let's go. So if we look at the middle, right? So as you can see, even from the run plays, you don't even really see, in my opinion. And y'all can jump in here whenever y'all want to, because I'm gonna just let it play.
They're raw.
They not even attacking their gaps mostly. What are they attacking on their run game? The edges. They are clearly trying to go at your, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you don't got to go with it. But from my analysis, it looked like they're attacking them corners. It looked like they were trying to make them boss tackle, right? And they was saying, we don't see, look, every run play that I'm showing so far is where?
They on the edges, man.
And then if I'm looking in the middle, I'm not seeing that push that people saying. I'm not seeing all this epic push on our DTs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
outside of this play
one
right here.
now that one, Phillips got pushed.
That was more, and it was more in,
edge,
like in that second. That really started seeing it.
Yeah.
This should have been a game that I'd move Parsons to that linebacker spot.
Good play by Morris. Whew.
Yeah, that boy Leofold, the missile.
Yeah. So we just letting it play, and I'm keeping my eyes on them DTs.
What y'all think about Deone Clark?
Man, I owe my guy a steak. I had bet Okoye a tomahawk that not overshown, but Clark is going to improve this year and have an unbelievable breakout year. I owe that joke.
No, don't give up on it yet.
Don't give up yet. Well, for right now, shoot, put Overshawn in there, man, or let.
I mean, how many more? How many? I'm asking you, boss. How much longer do you have to see of him? Much longer do you have to see of him to see that what it is? He's not tackling. You just said guys ain't coming up there and tackling. Yeah, he don't tackle, dog. He don't tackle. That's fine.
You're killing me, man. You're killing me, man. This ain't not.
Yeah,
You're killing me, man. You're killing me. Go ahead, Big. Go ahead, man. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. When you look at what Deone Clark does, he allows the opposition to get too far inside, and he's still having some of the same hesitancy or the hesitations of what he had last season. And I don't know why is he stopping his feet, big game, James? And why is he stopping his feet? I don't get it. Why is he stopping his feet, boss? Talk to me, man. Making business decisions again. He's looking like my guy, LVA out there, man. What's going on?
I don't agree.
Does it not look like he's? I mean, he's not a physical. He's not a physical back.
Roll it. He killing me.
Physicality in him on occasion, bro. In a major way.
Needs to be more though, and he's still.
I do agree that
okay, well, can you show me them clips?
I'm finna show you. You know I got you, bro. I ain't gonna fail you.
Come on, help me out. I got a tomahawk on the line.
We gonna start from the previous game, right?
Okay.
So this is actually visual because I was looking at all the linebackers, and I look at every one of their plays. I haven't did the play-by-play on every linebacker this game yet, but I'm gonna look at every one of their plays. But this is one of the ones that was the most impressive to me because if you look at Clark, bro. Did you see it? Did you see that?
Rewind it.
All right, so Clark is in the A gap with Vigil. Okay. So this is one of them plays that was impressive to me because you can really kind of see his game speed where he drops and then you go see how fast he closed on Watson, you know, and then he try to bust Watson in the mouth right there, you know, and he leave his feet to do it. I'm gonna show also his plays too, where I saw him go in there and just bang dudes.
I don't know if he tried to bust. I don't see
No, I'm
no
gonna show it.
busting
I'm
up
gonna show
on
it. No,
that.
he left his feet forward,
Okay.
which I want you to do on Watson. It looked like he tried to lay him out, but this I do see some things, and this is because all these clips of Deone Clark, right, that I'm showing right now. So you go see some to where like here, I felt like he didn't play his zone right because there was only one person in his threat, and he should have mirrored that a little bit better to me. Right here, Big, to your point of physicality, I feel like he was friendly because Amari go try to crack back him right here, and if you physical, you run through him. And he didn't. He just kind of got it the way. You made the tackle, but you didn't set the tone. And see, that's what San Fran talked about, is having an opportunity to set the tone and taking it. So like right here, when a receiver try to crack back you and they half-hearted with it, you're supposed to lay them out and make the tackle, right? You're supposed to get a 2-for-1, and that would have been right in front of the Browns bench. You know what I mean? So, so that's why Clark looked friendly to me. Just keeping it real. Now, this particular play, I think is the one, and I looked at this last week. I never did a film breakdown on him like I wanted to because I just ran out of time. But I think this is a play where I'm going to see him stick his nose in there. I think this is the play. No, it's not this one. He just playing. No, he mirrored him well. That's what I thought he did. He made that ball very uncatchable. He mirrored him in his zone well. He made an improvement in his zone coverage. I think this is it. But when I look at Clark, I think this is where he go stick his nose in there, and I don't see the fear that I used to see in LVE, where he go come downhill, boom, he sped up at contact.
Love you.
He sped up at contact right there on this screen, which
I still don't. I see what you're saying though, boss, on that play, but I still don't see. Okay, I see the coming hill, right?
I believe Buddy Johnson would have tore him in half, man.
You think so?
I just don't see it. Like I keep watching him, and I feel like too many times what you just saw with Amari Cooper. Too many times I still see that the instincts that you want to be able to see now. And was this year 3? Right? This year 3, I think.
Yeah.
The instincts, either you got them instincts or you
don't. Right. The instincts not showing.
So now I'm not.
It's not.
And if they're not showing, boss, I mean, how many years we got to wait to see if they show? And this is becoming a hindrance.
I want to give them a couple of more games in that base package. I really do. I'm just being honest. I just want to kind of see with Paul Gunter, is Paul Gunter go get him to be able to turn the corner? So a couple of more games.
Next week, he gonna have all of the chances in that base package against Derrick Henry and Lamar. So.
Todd Archer with ESPN, you know how the league works. Do you anticipate more from Baltimore to doing some of this stuff, or are they kind of locked into how they run it and it's different than what?
Yeah, well, in this league, they're all going to copycat, you know. So we have to fix the things that we didn't do well, and you know, move on from there. And you know, obviously they're going to have their meat and potatoes that they do.
To your point. Good transition into the Ravens what's your thoughts on what we getting ready to get into, Law?
I think we're finna get into a team that's desperate. They 0-2, and they got the reigning MVP on that side over there, and they felt as if though they was robbed week 1, so they're ready to stick it to someone, and they're gonna try to look at the tape like he said. It's a copycat league. Cowboys been having issues on stopping the run, as it alleged to be, and they're gonna try to run the ball down our throats. We also have some issues with our safeties, Hooker and Dono. I don't think that they can pretty much. I'm not really banging on the table for them boys to go up against Isaiah Likely. Big game James guy, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, I remember you were doing a film on him, Big.
Yeah, I covered Isaiah.
As well as Mark Andrews. Yeah, both of y'all. Yeah. So they're gonna have their lunch pail full, and then you have Zay Flowers, they're gonna try to get that matchup on 21 with him. So that's just what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a good physical game. I'm glad that it's not going to be at 12 o'clock. Maybe these guys can wake up and be And here's another thing. They saying that they are 0-2 and they don't want to be 0-3, right? Well, the Cowboys don't want to be 0-2 at the crib. So something got to happen. This should be a real good game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a physical game. I think the Cowboys need to be ready for surprises. Obviously, you heard Mike Zimmer say this is a copycat league, just like he didn't think that they were going to be in base as much as they was, because you saw how they're effective with Kendricks and Overshown in that nickel package, the 4-2-5. They were good together. You saw how they were flowing. And I would say that the Cowboys still need to be aware that they could come out, he said it's a copycat league and everybody's going to assume Derrick Henry. But you know what? They might try to come and start throwing the ball on us. You know what I mean? So they got to be ready for the switch up on Dallas as well. I'm going to try to establish the run game. I know one thing. I know they're going to have to keep their eye on Lamar Jackson. So definitely want to see Overshown in this game, because I think he's going to be the problem. Those daggone ball fakes, those handoffs, or where he's tucking and running, him scrambling out the pocket. I think that's where the problems lie with Dallas. And to Law's point about Dono and Malik Hooker, if Lamar Jackson got them safeties back there, that's when the Zay Flowers or one of those guys get behind him for another big game, big touchdown like that, because he's creating outside the pocket. And I worry about the safeties. And you said it yourself, boss. We did the show where I made the tweet. What would you think about Wanye and Marquise Bell starting? I took the poll because I was already thinking about that in my head anyway, right?
Yep.
Those two players had 10 snaps between them on the defensive side, 5 and 5, and Malik Hooker and Dono played both over 50 snaps apiece. In my opinion, that's got to change. You got to find ways to get those other guys on the field, because they are lacking in coverage. Malik Hooker is not the guy that he was when he came out of Ohio State. Those injuries have taken his toll, and he has been healthy, but he doesn't have that speed like he had at Ohio State. And we know the limitations of Donald, and teams are going to continue to attack that when they get the chance, because Deshaun Watson was not playing a good football. And even when they won last week, it wasn't like he played great football in that game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Jaguars are struggling as well. So you can't look at that like, ooh, Deshaun Watson. Dallas comes against a good quarterback that can kind of challenge it deep. Those things have happened. So I want to see those young guys starting to get some more snaps in there, because I feel like they can cover more and they can open the game up more and allow Dallas's front seven to do more things, because you can get more comfortable on that back end with them.
Yeah, man. And see, since you brought up safety, this bothered me greatly, man. This has probably bothered me more than anything.
House call. You talking about the holding call, or you talking about the actual throw and everything else?
I'm talking about that is cover 2.
Oh, okay.
So you can see that it's cover 2, because Carson is.
That should never happen.
It should never happen. Now,
that should never happen. Okay.
Let me explain why to people who might not know. So you can see that in cover 2 because Carson is funneling the outside receiver inside. That's one of the top indicators that is cover 2. And then he releases him into the zone. You definitely know it's cover 2 now, right?
And guess what, boss? Just tell him, is middle field open or closed? Go ahead, keep going.
Well, the middle of the field supposed to be, the safety's supposed to have the deepest zone. They supposed to be covering the halves, the deep halves.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you supposed to be able to cover the deep halves even if it's 4 verticals. So if it's only 1 vertical. So basically y'all had a chance to double this, and he beat both of y'all. That getting beat deep in cover 2 with 1 vertical is like getting beat deep in cover 3. Like, how does a corner get beat deep in cover 3 where his responsibility is the deep third? So, like, to Big point, it's like, I don't see how we don't play them safeties. What's your thoughts on that, Law?
Well, the man that get paid the money get paid to play, So that's the problem. I think that Wanye, they're trying to get him out there on the field. They try to put him on kick returns and punts and stuff like that. And I think that was kind of like underutilizing him, because I thought for sure that would have been a better situation for Kevontae Turpin. But I know for sure, we talked to Hooker, and Hooker expressed the fact that the youth is better than him, or you need to look out for them boys, right? So if he can see it and he's out there on the field, then somehow on the field, you got to be able to put the better player out there with speed. And Shaheed, he just took the top off of that. And I think that, this next game, Zay Flowers is looking at this, and Isaiah Likely, who can do the same thing from a damn tight end type of aspect of it. They're going to try to replicate this.
Yeah.
And the people that can stop this the best are on the bench. Ain't this crazy? Hooker needs to sit this one out, because you even get physicality with Wanye. He feels, he hits, he cover every blade of grass out there. His biggest knock is that he's an undrafted guy, right? And the Cowboys kind of look at that as, hey, you got to make some spectacular plays during the season in order to earn your way. It's kind of like what you said, boss, the gladiator. He got to earn his freedom. So you got to make a play.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, I just want to see those guys get incorporated a little bit more in the game. And along with Overshown, I get it, your base package and things of that nature, but Overshown is kind of too good to be on that sideline at this point. So you got to figure out a ways to keep him on the field because the team has a different vibe when he's on the field, more plays. He brings a different type of vibe. And that's why I said, like with a Deone Clark, you got a guy that Deone Clark just is out there playing. Overshown is out there playing. He's out there every play, hitting his hands, hitting his fists, smacking his helmet. He is in it like 100 miles, and that's infectious to the team. And that's why I feel like you got to figure out a way to get him more involved in that game plan, especially on the defensive side, because you need your playmakers on the field, and they need to be on the field more than the guys that aren't making plays.
Let's talk about that.
Mike Sadi's at The Athletic. 18 snaps for DeMarvion Overshown yesterday. Just what do you need from him to be able to use him in the base defense?
Well, the thing is that, we've got some linebackers that we like. The week before, we didn't anticipate being in so much subgroup packages. This week, we didn't anticipate being in quite so many base down packages. So, each week is going to be different for each guy. And, talking about Demo, he's coming off an ACL, missed all of spring, didn't really get out there until,
My bad.
Until we got to OTA. So he's working his way back in, and that will continue to go forward as we go. But, he's going to get plenty of reps.
And you guys used him as a spy quite a bit against Watson. Do you anticipate that being a sort of thing against Lamar Jackson where you kind of do that again?
Yeah.
This answer is very interesting to me.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We might have to use Micah to do it. He's pretty athletic and fast.
It's a lot in what he just said.
That was a loaded gun.
That's
I
a
didn't
loaded.
hear that part.
Yeah, he talked.
I was
about
going to
a
ask you
lot.
about the Weeble alert, and then he covered it up with that.
What's on your mind? Because you caught something too. Go ahead.
Give me the Weeble meter on this, because he had some snaps and reps week 1, right? Nobody mentioned the damn hip pointer or ACL and all of that. But now you come after a game, and then you try to say, well, he had his ACL, the hip pointer, he didn't play a lot of games. Look, you can't show me something and then take it away, right? We seen it. We saw it. You was right there week 1. And week 2, you gave him smaller reps. No, just working backwards, unless it's an undisclosed injury thing. But I didn't see him on the injury report last week, right? Did I miss something?
No.
Was he DNP? Was he DNP at all, Big Game James, boss?
Nah, it's
So where's the Weevil meter, man? And I don't want to call Mike
on
Zimmer.
a scale of 1 to 10.
What's Weevil on that, y'all? Y'all help me out.
I'm gonna give him about a 3. He ain't
Okay.
Weevil too bad.
He ain't Weevil too bad. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
not
I'm
too
over.
bad.
I mean, I did hear noise about that hip,
Yeah. See.
and that was a concern.
Yeah. See.
Going into week 1.
Right.
Going week 1.
Yeah.
So the hip is legit, and I was, I did a show, and and that's what I was worried about was that hip, because I heard noise about that, and the hip is not good.
Interstellar. We got
Hello?
some ventriloquist
Oh, that's
stuff
OC.
going on. Oh, okay. I was getting worried.
That's what I was saying. I was like, who that?
Yes, Lord.
But yeah, what's up, OC?
What's up, OC?
But I just good. Just in finishing that, just that hip is real. I was concerned about it going into week 1. Him playing that many snaps, I was surprised because I was hearing about that hip. So I think that could be an issue. Just keeping, maybe not a pitch count, but being cautious because you don't over the injury. Give out on this one and let's see what happens.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, Big. I don't think he Weevil too much, because really what it said, and that's the real debate, is do you move him to the base package? So for those who don't know what the base package is, you run your base package where you run in a 4-3, 3 linebackers, right? You do that especially when you know a team is coming out there with like 12
You're echoing.
personnel. That's because of the OC. OC, you got to mute yourself.
Okay.
Yes, the echo coming through the OC.
Okay.
So he muted it. We good now. So so the base package is when you go out there with 3 linebackers. So which they was using Eric Kendricks, Clark, and Morris, right? To me, that made sense because they wanted your bigger, more natural frame linebackers on a team that they knew they was gonna run the ball. So the week before, the Saints ran the ball 37 times. So to me, they was trying to prepare for a heavy run offense, which it ended up happening. But then you just didn't get the playmaking from that base defense that you had when Overshown was out there. Because remember when Watson was playing, they was running more 11 personnel. So that allowed them to go out there and play more Overshown because they are basically saying he's the big nickel, So Overshown basically is just making the case that, hey, just don't take me off the field, period. You know what I mean? I fit all the packages is what he basically, So it ain't no big linebackers, and I'm kind of like the tweener linebacker. No, I am the linebacker. What's your thoughts on that, Law? Then I got
that makes perfect. No, that makes perfect sense. I think that your best packages of linebackers will be Eric, Miris, and then Overshown, and then you can do the mixtures of if you need to get bigger at certain spots on that, then just move Parsons back at that linebacker spot, and I think that can work its way out. I think that most of those things that you was talking about in this past game with Kamara and Shaheed on that edge, if you put Parsons at linebacker freely, I think that you will see his 4.3 speed out there being able to get that. And I think that even in this game, rushing from the edge really is not going to help you with Lamar Jackson. We would ultimately need speed out there. And lo and behold, week 1, when we saw Overshown and Parsons rallying to the ball, so we need to replicate that and not overanalyze and just overshown it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And keep those guys out there. And I think that we will have a better approach in this game.
OC, what's your thoughts on him bringing out, he said that Micah might be the spy to Lamar?
I think it's smart. I think because if you're dealing with Lamar Jackson, he's a top 3 explosive player in the league, the most explosive quarterback by a mile in the NFL. And the only way that you can take him out of the game in terms of torching you with his legs is to spy him or either have an athletic nickel or dime package out there that can tackle him in space, which is very hard to do. So your next best bet is to use Michael Parsons as a spy. I think it's smart. I think it's prudent. And I think it's the best way to limit his explosive plays. So I think it's very smart.
Wow. What's your thoughts on that big spine with Michael?
I mean, Michael's. We seen when he first came in the league that closing speed.
I love it.
It's not, we need Michael to have a big game.
Yeah.
Let's just put it just like this. He needs to have a big game. You know, he got weak on that game, a little bit neutralizing this game. We need to have a big game, especially against the Ravens. You did 2 years ago. We need to beat them. Dallas needs to beat them, and if they want to incorporate him as a spy, I'm all for that because it allows him to be able to be free, to be able to be more dynamic in this defense, and that's what we need. We need the defensive stars that you have on the team to be dynamic, and you need to put them in the places where they can be that, and not just, okay, I'm going to just say, Zimmer, you've been in the league long enough to be able to do it. We need to start seeing it because, you know, can't go, like Law said, 0-2 in you know, our home field, 1-2, and this is an important game. So, yeah, I'm all for that as well.
Law, you had something on it?
No, I just want to echo the fact that, you know, shout out to Louis. He's saying that do we trust our edge rushers? At this point, at this point, like you showed tape against the Saints, nobody really got home, but it wasn't really no push. It wasn't really the interior getting pushed out. It was everybody attacking on the edge, right? So I think that if we do and take care of our job, then I think that we will be able to be successful against the Ravens. The problem is, even if we do trust our edge rushers, they ain't getting to Lamar. Lamar gonna bail anyway. So that's why it's so important to have Parsons at the spy position. My only thing that I didn't like about it is today is Tuesday, and Zim is talking about it. That's 4 days that the Ravens can say, hey, he mentioned this, so keep in mind they may use Parsons as the damn spy. You know, that's 4 days to prepare. So I think that he could have kept that one in his bag, and then all of a sudden we look at it like, damn, he's at the spot, and then that way they won't have a jump on that. So hush, Zim, hush.
Well, OC. The Cowboys don't lose back-to-back games twice.
Right.
What's your thoughts on how this? We don't.
You said they don't? Is what you said?
We don't lose games back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, I think this is one that they could, okay? This is one that they could, all right? And apologize, I'm driving, so excuse any connection errors. But I'll say that the Cowboys are going to have to come out, and if you haven't watched the soft video by Boss Cowboy, you need to watch that. That was a beautiful breakdown of the simple problems and how we fix them with the Cowboys in terms of how we play and our attitude. The Cowboys are going to have to execute and be more physical than the Baltimore Ravens, man. And Baltimore Ravens, Jim Harbaugh coached teams play physical football.
That's right.
They play very physical football. So if you are not as physical as this team is going to beat your tail, man. So I think that we come out very, very strong. I think win or lose, I think it's a close game. I don't think it's a blowout on either side. I think it's a close game. But I think it could happen if we don't have a 180 in terms of our attitude and our intensity.
Yeah, I changed the title. I shifted from slept on the one word soft to how to stop the Shanahan tree. I had to change the title on that, man.
What you said? What was your original title?
Man, my original title was slept on the New Orleans loss, one word soft.
Oh,
Yeah, I seen that title. I seen that title.
I had
I
to
was-
change it, bro, because we didn't play Cowboy football that game. Just keeping it real. And see, but there's nothing wrong with what I said because Michael Parsons said the same thing, right? We saw it the same way, but Cowboy fans they want everything positive, so you have to. Because really, at the end of the day, I was talking about how to stop the Shanahan tree, so I changed the title to that. You know what I mean? So it's like, because they wouldn't go click on it. Like, oh, no, I don't want to hear that we sold for you feeling good right now.
but you know, I'm gonna have to show you, boss, that the Shanahan tree was planted to originally stop the Cowboys.
Yeah, I heard you on that, bro. That was.
You heard me. Oh, you heard me on that.
That was beautiful wisdom on that. Go ahead and expound, sir. Expound, sir.
Well, at some point in time, Mike Shanahan, you know, they was getting on to him by hiring his son and Sean McVay and Mike McDaniels and what's the other guy named LaFleur, right? And you know, those guys were with the Chris, what was it, Kirk Cousins and the
RG3.
what's the guy named RG3 situation. You know, they all were ushered in during that time frame, and during that time they couldn't beat them damn Cowboys. They kept losing, what have you. But you know, when that one magical year, RG3 did something special, but he got hurt or what have you. But to make a long story short, that whole entire staff got fired due to the fact, remember Romo, it wasn't a playoff game, but remember the game that DeMarco Murray scored that touchdown at and all of that, you know, when Tony Romo had to slip this, you know, that whole entire administration got fired. But they had changed to that Shanahan's new philosophy during that process. So it was originally set up to stop and slow down the Cowboys. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. And what was funny when I saw you bring that out, Law, is a lot of your chat thought you was lying.
Yeah, they thought I was lying, man.
And then he showed the proof on it. I was like,
I got the receipt right here. Here you go. Yeah, I showed the receipt on them, Big Game James and the OC.
Let's talk about that real quick because you got you in the building, OC, because you obviously watched the video I did on how to stop the Shanahan tree. So, like, expound on it, because from my research, man, and me breaking it down and looking at the film, it's more so about them testing your physicality, right? And committing it to it. Like, so what's your thoughts on truly stop? Because I think too many people making it about the X's and O's and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it's really that. I think it's the commitment to the style and brand of football.
Yeah, man. I think that, you know, X's and O's is a portion of it in the sense that he schemes you well.
Right.
In other words, he's going to get into sound plays that can work against you, right? But it's not the play in and of itself. It's the way they execute the play. So they run zone. They're pretty much our zone team. They run outside zone. They run inside zone. They'll run some dive at you, right? This is basically, I'm talking about the Saints and also the 49ers because it's from the same train of thought. They run power zone. They get a body on a body, and they just work on finishing blocks, man. That's what they do. They finish. They don't get pushed back. They push you back.
Right.
And they just grind and grind and grind and grind, and they trust a good running back like a Kumar or like McCarthy to find a crease, either to, and I did a breakdown video on this years ago now, like to either take it front side and bounce it out, to bang it up in there because it's a crease, or if you over pursue on the defense, is to find a cutback lane. And so that's what they do just very, very well. It's pretty straightforward in terms of scheme, but yeah, man, they're going to typically just try to beat you down. So unless you want to beat them down, they're going to end up beating you down. So if you don't want to stop them as bad as they want to beat you, then you're going to lose that game probably.
Big. How we beat the Ravens?
Yes, sir. We got to be able to run the ball. I know that we got to be able to run the ball. You know, we got to get some explosive plays. Got to be able to run the ball. We got to get some explosive plays. those 10 play, 11 play drives, still ended at field goals or killing us.
Yeah.
They got to score points. We got to get in the end zone, and we need some big plays. I think that's the biggest thing. We got to get these other guys involved besides CD. We already been talking about it. Other guys got to make some plays. You saw how big of a loss Ferguson was in the passing game. So, and I don't know. I said I want to see some Dalvin Cook. I just don't think Rico is that guy. He had his chance to me last year, and I don't think he really improved upon it. And I know Dalvin Cook ain't like the man, but right now at this point, I want to see it. Maybe try to see some more explosiveness from that. At least see you brought him on here, so let's see what he got. And defense, Lamar Jackson, he's the key. I know we got Derrick Henry. I worry about him in the third and fourth quarter though. I ain't gonna lie. That's when I worry about that Derrick Henry in that third and fourth quarter.
Yes.
I don't worry about the Derrick Henry early. I worry about if it's a close game and it's third. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Them late third and fourth. We can't stop him. He starts trucking us, and that's what I.
Oh man,
bruh. So so we gotta. You know what? I'm gonna say we gotta get up early. We can't be playing from behind either. Can't be playing from behind.
Yeah, if you think that you're going to steamroll the Ravens, and this is a 0-2 team that don't know how to play football, then you got another one coming for you. There was a tight game between them and the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Raiders, sun shines on dog, tail some days, So that was a situation that, the Ravens pretty much would love to have that game back. So now they're playing against the Cowboys, who were embarrassed. The way we win, we got to score early and often. We got to have some way, shape, form, or fashion. In my opinion, Zeke, let him get the first 7 or 8 carries. I get it. We all like Rico. We like Deuce, Tiny Deuce Vaughn. But let Zeke, I don't give a care if it's what they used to say, boss? A yard in a cloud of dust. But if he can lower that head on someone, or if he can get some real testing, if he can drop some shoulder pads, set the tone in that fashion, I think that's better than even having a Rico out there that may give you a yard more, but he's going to have less impact on punishing those linebackers, soften up those safeties or what have you. And now, just like I use this analogy, y'all. Have you ever bought a bag of ice, Big Game James, the OC? Boss, you grab that bag of ice and you slam it on the ground, right? To loosen up that ice. That's what Zeke do. He slams it on the ground, and then you can see more and more usage out of your other guys. You're going to have to bring the physicality to the table. You can't play softly with the Ravens. I've seen the Ravens embarrass the 49ers last year. I've seen the Ravens, if they know that all they got to do is pant their ears back, and you got Justin Matabuke, you got all of those big boys inside, they will have your head on a platter. So we got to bring physicality, and this is the perfect game to undo the Dallas soft boys to the Dallas Cowboys to be hard. You know what I'm saying? In so many ways.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Those grills, drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
Appreciate it. I think you stole the words right out of my mouth, brother. You stole the words. This got to be a physical game. And I'm so glad that you the one who said, I'm glad somebody said what it's going to really take to really get over on this team.
Yeah.
This ain't going to be a team where you line up Deuce and Cavante Turpin in the backfield. This ain't that game. This ain't that game. This ain't that game that gets cute with scheme.
Yeah.
This you beat the Ravens because you are determined that ain't no way y'all gonna be more physical than us in our house.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you beat them. Exactly. If you come in there with as much talent as we have, we gonna beat these boys. You come in there with finesse, going against an 0-2 team that need to get a win to have some hopes. We gonna get walked out of here again.
And a team that probably feels like they can beat you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Based on what we put on film. Yeah. Talk about it.
Yeah. We know we played them before. You know what I'm saying? They played us before. You know, the word is out, right? It's not like this hasn't been going on one game. The word is out. Hey, let's do this against them and we can beat them. So you don't think the Ravens are going to come in there with that mindset, and Dallas got to come in that mindset. We got to stop them, and Dallas got to stop them and stop them early, right? I mean, those first few series are going to be big outs early. Maybe get a turnover, but they got to get that crowd into it real early, right? Can't have a drive where the Ravens get the ball, they take it right down the score. Cap out, got to get pressure. You don't got to necessarily get sacks, but you got to make Lamar Jackson make bad decisions because, to me, he's still not that greatest passer out there. He still will make mistakes. So make him make those mistakes. Put pressure on this guy. Don't let him just sit back there and try to dissect us, run around the pocket 3-4 seconds, then hit somebody on a big, deep bomb, because that's what I'm worried about. I ain't worried about him just chucking it, beating us with the pass game. I'm worried about those big, explosive plays. That's what Dallas has to negate.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple things on this. It's nothing like, if you guys remember this back in school, or even just seeing a good fight. It's nothing worse than having to fight a bully after the bully seen you get beat up. And that's what happened with the Cowboys. Now they gotta fight a big, strong bully that had already seen you get beat up. And so now you're gonna have to fight extra hard. Because this bully already saw you get beat up. He believes he can beat your tail. And you're going to have to do something special in terms of your commitment. There he is, and your determination, that bully, that 250-pound bully. And that brings me to my second point. If the Cowboys win the rushing attack in this game, they win. Ezekiel Elliott has to rush for more yards than Derrick Henry. Number two, we have to win the time of possession battle. The longer we keep the ball and the more we control the floor of the game, the better. And the other thing is this, with Lamar Jackson, I don't think you really rush him to try to get sacks. I think you employ what I've seen be an umbrella technique. You're rushing him to keep him in the pocket. You're rushing him to keep contained, and then you use a spy on him. Because to Big James' point, you do not have the threat of him picking you apart. He's not that kind of quarterback. So if you want to contain him, make him throw it. Make him throw it. Don't let him run it, though. Make him sit back there and have to throw the football. And if you do that, you can win this game.
No doubt. And let me tell y'all about the storm that's right around the corner. After this game, you got a short week. By us losing to the Saints, we can't really foot off the gas pedal because you got a short week. We remember, you playing against a physical team late. This is a 3 o'clock game, right? Then you got to play a Thursday game against the Giants. Then you got to play Pittsburgh. Then you got to play Detroit. Then you got to play San Fran. And we saw what Falcons can do. So this is a great test. And I think the Steelers are undefeated right now, believe it or not. But they play very gritty. So we got to have our mindset that even after, if we beat the brakes off or we get close by 1 point versus the Ravens, whatever it may be, we can't read our own press clippings because we got to turn around on a short week to beat the brakes off the Giants and then be prepared to go up against Pittsburgh. And that's on the road too, by the way. See how they shanked us with the butter knife. You play a physical team and then go on the road to go up there to New York. Yeah, twice, New York and then Pittsburgh. So be ready.
Let me get my final words. You have some super chats?
Oh, sir.
All right, let me see if I got it.
Y'all mad at us because we ain't lose.
Citing with a $5 super
well,
chat.
you know how it is. You know how it is when you lose.
Yeah,
It's
like,
funds. They
Don't
cut
be
the
it.
funds.
I ain't dropping
Defund.
nothing. I ain't
Defund
giving
the
I
content
nothing.
creators.
This team sucks. I ain't paying nobody a damn thing. Nobody deserve nothing.
We the ones who lost.
No, they blame me. They blame me. Law, you we lost because you put that hat on. Sites and Tropes states for $4.99. Appreciate you for your support. Micah needs to play linebacker when teams try to run outside on stretch, toss, pull, wide zones, plays, etc. What do you guys think?
It won't help if your corners don't funnel them back inside. It won't help.
Right.
So your first thing you gotta fix is them corners. Them corners gotta hold that outside containment. It don't matter about him playing linebacker.
So the corners are the shoes in this situation.
The corners was the breakdown, in my opinion, mostly in the running game. They was trying to make the corners tackle, and we was doing a bad job of it. Yep. Just keeping it real. From me looking at every last running play, and I looked at every one of them, the biggest issue was corner containment on wide zones. So we got us a super chat. He said, DC4, let's go Cowboys. Appreciate all of you guys. Man, appreciate you too.
Appreciate you.
Did y'all have any more super chats before I get my final words?
That's it.
No, sir.
All right, so let me just get my final words. Y'all might not like this one. I'm concerned. I'm just keeping it real. I feel like I see some female dog in my team.
Wow.
Wait.
SWAT the P.
BITC. I see it.
Ooh.
I see it.
Harsh boss, man. Harsh. He's harsh.
And listen, the only way I'm not go act like I don't see it is they gotta change my mind, bro. This is what I mean by that. So I saw you do it before. Like I saw you turn up. Like I saw all the energy in the world the second time y'all played San Fran in the playoffs. Look at Tank. Like when they played like this Dallas Cowboy defense could have won a Super Bowl if they played like this game in and game out. But then y'all get a chance to play them again the next year and they blow you out and you flat. How do you not play mad against a team that took you out the playoffs? That screams to me BITC, you finish it. I ain't gonna spell it all the way out. So then you go against Green Bay in your house and get blown out. That's BITC. So then you tell me that in your first home game, you allowed the Saints to come in here and say, sometimes you got to pop up and show them. Nah, I'm not gonna believe in, and I'm not believing. I'm worse than Big Game right now. I'm worse. Like a lot of people like to say, my boy.
No, you ain't worse.
Put the dog up there, then. Put the dog up there, then.
Nah, bro. Like,
okay.
In your first home, I put it up there. But I'm saying in your first home game, you get your first home game, man. Like, nah. And see, I don't like it because y'all got way more talent than people. That mean that it's your heart. It's not your talent. My son, my youngest son, he's a big boy. Like, the doctor said when he was born, based on his bone and density mass, that he could be 6'2", 6'3". So he's in Taekwondo. He's always been bigger than everybody. And he used to fight down to the size of the people he was fighting. He used to piss me off. That's my Cowboys, man. And see, you gonna have to show me, Cowboys, that you are willing to fight bullies.
Who had to correct that? Who had to correct that? I know that's your final word, but who had to correct that? You or he did?
He had to correct it.
But you had to tell him about it though, right?
I told him, you know how you tell him over and over and over and over, he ain't getting it. But you know what made him get it? He had a real fight at school. and he had to fight somebody 2 years older than him.
Was last week a real fight?
Yep.
And then they realized. So
to your point. To your point.
Let's hope. I'm still selling hope over here.
No, it's not even about selling hope. You making sense because we don't play bad twice.
Yeah.
So I am expecting the Dallas Cowboys not to play like a BITC this week. But my problem is, will it get to your head though? Right? And will you show up then the week after or 2 weeks after flat?
Yep.
Don't let it go to your head, no.
So, like, for those of us who have Super Bowl aspirations for this team, it's about being mean because you mean. It's about being physical because you physical. It's not about picking and choosing, oh, we got embarrassed, so let's show them that we physical. Are you physical or not?
Right.
That's my final
mindset.
word. It's a mindset. That's my final word. And I hated to say that about my team.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll see. That's all I'm gonna say is we'll see. I mean, we've seen this story so many times, dog. I just, you know, the word is out about the Cowboys, and teams just gonna continue to do it until you stop it, and then you got to stop it consistently. And like you said, it's a mindset. I'm tired of seeing it year in and year out, but I don't get mad at it because where has it been different? Where has it been seen different? I haven't seen it in a long time. And then to Boss's point, why can't we get that defense that we saw in that 2022 game against San Francisco 49ers? Why can't we get that defense week in and week out?
Week in, week out. That's all we want. That's all we want, bro.
Week in and week out. Give me that defense because, like Boss said, that was the game where I was like, that defense came to play. Like,
you
could tell from the very jump, from the very first play, that defense came to play. They weren't going to let
look at it.
You do whatever. That's how we're supposed to play, and it doesn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like people see through when we be doing all that chirping. And to Boss's point too, don't go in there and then have a good game defensively, and then I don't want to hear Tank. And hey, I love what he's doing. I don't want to hear him if they get a big victory. Yeah, that's what we talked. We said we was gonna stop him. We did. No, don't be doing that because he did that. They did that before. Then they went into Buffalo and got smacked. So you get what I'm saying? Consistency, bring it. Either you got it or you don't. So Cowboys do you, and we'll find out. That's my final word.
Don't let it go to your head, no.
What I've learned in life is that it's not about how much you can give. It's about how much you can take. And can the Cowboys take a team that's physical for 4 quarters? Can the Cowboys take the pressure having to contain Lamar Jackson? Can the Cowboys take a Hall of Fame running back running downhill at him for 4 quarters hard as he can? Can the Cowboy take a pressure defense and guys that game tackle and hit hard and that are physical at the point of attack? Can they take it? I don't know. The Cowboys' chance to win this game is TD. And I don't mean touchdowns. Yeah, they need some of those. But they need toughness and they need determination. And that's how the Cowboys get out of this. What I see early this year as a must-win game for the Cowboys. It's close to a must-win game because of the schedule, because of the mentality, and because of the confidence they need to get back from what was taken from them last week. So, will the Cowboys win? I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I hope they do. I don't know. But the Cowboys got to show up in a major way and prove that they can get something done versus a physical team. That's my final word.
Prove it, right? Most of you guys are literally like Dowd and Thomas. Hold out your hands. Let me see whether or not the holes are real. Got to prove it, right? Yeah. And I don't blame you guys. Last week, they soul searching, man. They ripped our souls out, man, because only the Cowboys will allow something like that to happen, to lose in an embarrassing fashion.
Your first home
Whereas your first home game, knowing we return to the scene of the crime. and we seen that chalked outline of the Dallas Cowboys' pride, hope, and all of the hard work and dedication on the field, and we went back there and got a chance to lay down in that same spot. And the Cowboys, they are still looking like they are not mad and pissed off about this, because I can tell by the countenance on their faces. And we do more of the representing of the Cowboys than the Cowboys are representing, right? And I get it. We are the America's team. We got all of the stars on the side of the helmet and all of this stuff. But we as content creators, we go out here and we fight more than the damn players. That's crazy. So this got to change. Somewhere, this got to change. Maybe, just maybe, Jake Ferguson can play this game. And he can bring in some of that swag and that jazz to the table, and they can feed upon that energy. Maybe, just maybe, we can get Zeke for a big play, and he can do the feed me sign. Or somebody shooting through the A gap or B gap, and Zeke is there to block while Dak Prescott throw the ball down the field to a Jake or to a CeeDee Lamb or a kickoff return to a Cavante Turpin. We're going to have all of those things. Zim, you mentioned the pickle game, your first game coaching here. Well, let's see if we can get the results of you being successful since you're here, juxtaposed to the first time that you was here on that particular game. Mike McCarthy, you got to show us something, man. You supposed to be fighting like this is you fighting for your life. Your back is against the wall. Well, present that. Get nasty with them. Grow your beard back, dog, and get in the face of these guys. Make sure that they are being held accountable to their mistakes. Let's go and get this W. Let's go get this win, and let's not look back at what happened last week or last year in the postseason, and let this point of the destination, playing at home, let it be our home field advantage throughout the entirety of the year. And be ready, prepared for greatness. Cowboy Nation, that's my time. I really thank you all for yours.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Those grills, drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to do.
I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up, I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Revin now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.